Line on Beats Production. This is a Line on Beats Production. This is a Line.
What's going on, y'all? This is the Signal 27 show. We are in the community. I am in the studio with the one and only Terry T. Harris, comedian, entrepreneur, Jacksonville's own Terry T. Harris is in the building with us. We're going to be talking about some things that he has going on here in the city. We got a play that we're going to be doing tomorrow, which is also going to include some comedy that we're going to talk about. But I wanted to let my brother introduce himself. Let us know a little bit of his accolades that he's been known for. You sure it's not accolades? I think it's accolades. You doing things that I would have loved to be doing. So give us some insight about you and what you've done, brother.
Accolade. Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me on, man. Any opportunity to get a chance to tell people and let people know what you do is a blessing. All right. I'm here. I'm Terry Harris, born and raised right here in Jacksonville, Florida. This is my home, in which I love, and I never left. You know, a lot of people, entertainers and people of my stature, they're like, hey, why you live in Jacksonville? Because I love Jacksonville. Nah, that part, it's been good to me. So that's why I'm here. Yeah. But just doing things in the community, born and raised, product of the public school system here as well. You know, all the schools, I think I went to all of them. My mama moved every 6 months. So I done been all over town, bro. So I always tell everybody, I go on any side. I was the only brother can go on any side of town and fit in because my mama always moved. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But other than that, man, started in the public school system, Brentwood, North Shore, Long Branch, kind of that area there. And then we ventured out to the west side, got a little bit of Joseph B. Stillwell, Jane Weldon Johnson in my junior years. And then finally moved over to the north side, and where I attended Ribault Junior, Rains High School, then transferred from Rains and went on out there with them True Trojans at, because that's what it was all about.
I just recently learned how deep and ingrained the high school football team is here. You know what I'm saying? Like the Rains and Ribault rivalries and how Duval kind of support the high school football teams in its city more than they do their own NFL football teams. You know what I mean? But I've been to a couple of games and them boys be playing hard, boy. I tell you, they be like, man, I got to make it. You know what I mean? But it's good to know because I've been in Jacksonville. You might as well say I'm acclimated. I'm from Washington, D.C. But I've been here since 2002 once I got out of the military. So 20 years, I feel like I might be like, I'm from Duval, 2002, 2022. Yeah, I think I'm kind of acclimated to Duval.
Anything over 10, 15 years, I say you Duval now, man. You here.
Okay. All I got to do now is pick up my accent. I got a friend of mine who says he'll be right bike.
On a bike?
On a bike.
Bike. Okay.
Yeah. So it kind of threw me off for a minute. But now on your shirt there, you have Skate City. One of the premier roller rings that's here in the city. For all of y'all that do not know, right there in the Regency area is one of the best skating rinks that's here in the city, and they teach and see. Listen, this camera that I'm on right now is going to be eventually down there on Thursdays because I got to learn how to skate. I've been telling my wife I want to learn how to skate. Oh, really? Yeah, because I really want to learn how.
Do it, man. You can do it. I got you.
Okay, so that's going to be part of one of the initial videos that we're going to be shooting for Comics Try. Is going to be Leroy going to try skating.
New Year's resolution. That's what he's doing.
Try not to hurt myself is what it is. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? Gotcha. So give us some insight. Like, what made you get into doing the skating ring? Because beforehand you was doing comedy. We'll talk about the comedy once we start talking about the play. But right now what you're doing is you're running your own facilities, the Skate City Skate Ring. What got you involved into doing that?
Well, basically, I've been a skater, most of my life. This is something I really want to do for the community, and this is my give back to the community. Like I said, I love Jacksonville, man, and it's just been really good to me. So this is my way of giving back to the community, and it came out of a frustration, a frustration of going to a host of roller skating parties, going to Atlanta to the roller skating parties, going to Miami to all the roller skating parties, and just going to Tampa every year for the roller skating party with all your little skate crew and your ride or dies. And I was starting to notice that the majority of the rinks and the parties that we were attending was attended by black kids skating, which roller skating has always been a black thing. Okay, that's our thing. If you know most kids, I don't know where you from, but you must have been on punishment where you couldn't come outside. But ever since the late 50s and 60s, roller skating has always been a black activity. However, we've always supported the industry. And in my researches and in my going out, shaking a leg and trying to, I discovered that there were not many roller skate rink owners that were minority, female, or anything like that. So black to be specific. I only know of three of them that I can shout out. Just like in Atlanta, Cascade, Golden Glide. You got the rink out in Detroit. So then there's supposed to have been one down in Miami. But as far as rink ownership, no corporation, no franchise, no nothing. I'm like in the only three that I know of, and probably the only one in Florida.
Oh wow! So you kind of like in the minority right now, as far as being individuals that hold and own a skating ring in itself, right? So
Definitely a minority. Definitely a minority. Most of the rinks that you attend now, they're 30, 40 years old. They still look the same. No reinvestment in them. And that's, like I said, it came out of a frustration of, these venues continue to, what they call it, monopolize on the community, us. We skate, but you go there, the carpet is the same carpet it was when you was in the ninth grade.
there's no reinvestment of the
they
funds.
no reinvestment, and they have no need to because most of them are grandfathered in. A lot of the roller skate rink operators, Midwest, South, up north, Georgia, they're third, fourth generation. It's just the parents passed it down to the kids, and they paid for those buildings 20, 30 years ago, so they have no real gain in like doing anything upgrade. So when I began to see that, I was like, no, this is something that I love. It's something that I'm passionate about, and it's something we can do.
Okay. I mean, I went skating a couple of times before, and I had kind of grew a love for it. I just never really invested my time into doing it. But I felt like, you know what, it's a way of having that extracurricular exercise to be able to, because being in the Marines, man, all you really did was like run. You know what I'm saying? You run, you do your exercise, but I wanted to always keep the fun in it. You know what I mean? And after a while, you do enough PT. This PT not fun no more. You know what I mean?
And it hurt.
Yes. So if I can just find an activity to where I can get active and still be able to enjoy myself and be able to burn some calories in the process, then that's what I would like to do.
Okay.
You know
Well, then
what I mean?
roller skating is your thing. I mean, roller skate, and that's the beauty of roller skating. It's less stress on your joints, like lifting weights and running ground pounding. Once you get over 40, them knees don't work like they used to.
Do not. No, they don't.
So roller skate, it releases all that pressure because you're rolling on wheels. You get your cardio in, so it keeps your heart rate up. Going an hour of skating is equivalent to about, like I say, 30 or 40 calories an hour burned
that's
off.
not bad at all.
And that's just slow pace. If you do speed, I like speed skating. If you're going around, you're doing probably, man, 50 laps in 5 minutes. You're really picking up some carbs. It's great for your core. It just works all your muscles, and it's safer. A lot of people are afraid of roller skating because they're the danger of getting hurt, but it's actually safer than football. It's safer than cycling. These are known facts. It's safer than weightlifting. It is safer than all of them. So, yeah, unless you fall down. But it's really safer. It is.
Yeah, and I think that's probably one of my biggest fears is like the falling aspect of it. But
we can get you past that. But the health aspect of it, one thing that I'm all in. So we're part of the RSA, Roller Skating Association. That's located out in Indianapolis, Indiana. That's the headquarters, where there's over 200 or so roller skate rink operators every Wednesday, 11:30 to 1 o'clock. We do our Zoom calls, just talking about everything in the industry of skating, just networking with each other, keeping the industry going live and staying vibrant. And the roller skating, what it does that no other activity, like you said, you like to have fun, you like to dance. It provides three of the most needed things that a human being needs. We need to socialize, so it provides that. We need to entertain, the music, the dancing, that's the stimulation there.
Okay.
And the socializing, camaraderie, and the health benefit. So your child is going to be getting all of that. They meet friends. It's amazing how little kids just come in there, man, and they just hook up and they grab hands and they meet a friend and you ask the parent, who's this your kid? It's like, no, we never seen this kid in our life. And those kids come together and they just play like it's nothing. So it provides that outlet where you can, like you say, get all three: exercise, entertainment, and the socialization that we need as human beings.
And I kind of like the idea of the safety aspect of it. You can meet up with people there in an activity that everybody agrees that they all like and enjoy themselves. You know what I mean? And it's not a bad thing to meet new people. I know a lot of people now scared of what COVID and all of this other stuff, but I feel the safety aspect of it in itself, because you have your children there, and you're watching your children. Your children get a chance to meet new people, new friends, and then you come to find out once your kids like each other, then your parents, because you want your kids to hang out, y'all become friends.
Yeah, we got kids
know
that
what I mean?
actually do that. They met here and they say, hey, they text, these are like 7, 8 year old kids. The parents text, so you going out there? He don't want to come unless your kid is coming.
Right.
And that I've seen that a lot as well.
So and that's awesome. I like the idea of bringing individuals together to enjoy that particular type of event. Now, in reference to before the skating ring, you was a person that worked within the city, but your people also know you as comedian Terry
What?
T. Harris.
What?
How did
He
you
ain't funny. He ain't funny.
how did you get into the comedy game, working the Chitlin circuit, and then
Hey, man.
getting on P. Diddy's Bad Boys of Comedy, as well as Comic View? So how did that whole thing work out?
Well, man, I'm a passionate guy, and whenever I take on something, I'm all in. Because I'm not going to waste my time doing something that I don't enjoy. I've always heard that you should be a comedian, but I was never a class clown. I never acted up in school. I maintained that DC average. Yeah, that 1.5, just enough to get to the next grade. You know what I'm saying? But I was never a class clown. Most people think comedians are class clowns. I was not. I just noticed in my military career, man, you crazy, man. Man, Sarge, you funny, man. Man, Sarge, you funny. And one day, what really got me, I don't know what this lady is on Lim Turner. It was dry cleaners on the corner of Lim Turner and Palmdale. That's the area I grew up in. And I was grown, 20-something years old, 30, probably in my 30s. And I would drop my clothes off. And the lady was sitting behind the curtain doing alterations. She never saw me in my life. And I just drop them all, small talk, bam, bam, and then boom, walk out. And then a lady came from behind the curtain one day. She's like, I just had to come out here and see who's got me cracking up back here. I can't even do my work because of you. I'm like, I didn't do anything. And she said, are you a comedian? I'm like, no, ma'am. She said, you should be. And then I started hearing it from my coworkers, man, every time you come in the break room, man, it's crazy when you come in the break room. And I'd be like, oh, man, y'all crazy. And then one day, this young lady that worked with me, I was working for JEA. I kept my day job because comedy is at night.
Hello.
Everybody want to move away and do all this. You better keep your vehicle to pay for that child support. I mean, no. That part. So I kept my day job. I am retired from JEA. 30 plus years, but one of the secretaries in the front office of JEA, she called me down one day. She said, you always come to this office and boy, our sides are hurting when you leave. She said, you need to go join this comedy workshop. And on Folio magazine, they had the Comedy Zone in Mandarin, which most of the comedians here, yourself, started at. They had a thing, amateur night comedy, come out here if you think you got what it takes to do stand-up. And we made a bet. Because she was real funny. I say, if you go, I'll go. So that Saturday morning or Saturday evening for the workshop, I went. I'm sitting around. I'm looking for her. She never showed up, and the rest is history. So I think Miss Lacey Davis. She Lacey. Yeah, Lacey.
Hey, you call her out, Lacey. You ain't
Lacey
show up.
She ain't show up, but we talk about it all the time. But I think that was her way of getting me out there, and getting in. And then I took several workshops. And I started to hone my craft, and then I got on stage. And the first time I got on stage, I did a little knock-knock jokes or whatever you do. I didn't know what the heck was going on, but I did a couple jokes, and the crowd laughed. And man, I did another little, knock-knock or whatever, and they went crazy. And there's like 4 or 5 guys that went ahead of me with nothing. And I'm
Right.
just talking like I'm talking now. And they were cracking up, and I felt that. And I said, this is it.
It's that adrenaline rush just to make how
Man.
you can control a room of people who don't know you, and you can say things
It's
and
crazy.
can control their emotions with your voice. I was like, yo, when I started, because I went through the same workshop, and I'm surprised that based off of where you've been and where I started at, that he's been doing that particular type of workshop for so long.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Way back. That workshop I started in 99, 2000.
Wow.
And he was doing it at least 10 years before I found out about it.
Okay.
You know.
See, man, because in 2000, I was that was my second year in the military. Really,
Yeah.
98, 99, yeah, roughly around that time. Yeah, I was still in the military, man. And then when I got out, people was always saying, Leroy, you should do comedy, but I didn't pay it no attention.
Same here. I
Right.
was like, man, ain't nobody getting on stage,
Right.
you know. Now, my sister's crazy. She should be a comic. You know how you got that person, my oldest sister, she's probably 63 now. All through her life, we all played the Joneses, you know. We played the Joneses. Now, I was the baddest dude at the bus stop. I was the funniest dude at the bus stop, not knowing it now.
Right.
But, you know, you crack on me, I crack on you back. You crack on me. I would always do that to get them off me because I was a little dude, you know. I was like 90 pounds in 10th, 12th grade. So I would always crack back on them, but I never thought of it being comedy. But they wouldn't mess with me once I talked about their mama and stuff real hard. I go in on your mamas.
Yo, I got one of my comedy buddies, my comedy brother David. He a person who played the Joneses too, but he be going for the jugular, man. I'm talking about he'll talk about the whole.
He hurt you?
Yeah, he gets like
You talking about David Manuel?
yeah.
Oh yeah, he look innocent,
yeah, he look innocent,
but he'll pop you and walk to the side. That's the part I like about him. He kind of mild manner. He beginning to open up a little bit more, but he'll pop you and you be like, did he just say that? And you be halfway down the sidewalk what he just said. But Dave's doing his thing. I like what I see coming out of Dave.
Yeah, that's a cool brother. A lot of the comics that I deal with and who I work around, I work with anybody who works with me. That's the way I see
That's it.
And my motto is that if one of us make it, hopefully they got the same motto that we all make it. And I just want to be able to have a platform for all of us to be able to come to and be able to talk mess. And
You got one, man. You got this Signal 27, baby. We rocking.
yeah, I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it.
You doing it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Let me go
Doing
ahead.
it, baby.
Yeah, I'm doing
You
it.
said it, you know.
Yeah. So now, as far as your start in comedy, your accolades, as far as getting on those two platforms, how was that process? Because I know we was just not too long having a conversation about myself and I wanting to leave relocate and do other shows outside of the county and outside of the city, but just trying to get out into that atmosphere. Is a little difficult, and I'm trying to figure it out. So I always look for mentorship and try to get information from those who have done it before me. So what insight can you give me as a comic as to how I can get my craft out there for other people to see?
Well, basically, it starts like this. This is what I learned. Like I say, I did all the comedy conventions, all the auditions for Def Comedy Jam, and you fly out. You do. Back then, we had to mail in a VCR tape. That's how old I am. You telling me how old I am?
No, I still got VCR upstairs.
Yeah, we used to have to mail in a VCR tape, you know, the Russell Simmons and those guys. And, you know, hey, these guys want to look at them. They don't have time to look at tapes. So you have to actually go on set. And that's what I tell every comedian. Go to the city you want to live in. Stay there for a weekend. Go down to the comedy club and just hang out. Because every city has a comedy place, a karaoke bar. We used to do a lot of karaoke. Anywhere you can get a mic in your hand, get it. That's why I'll say it. Can't nobody touch me, period. Because I've been on that stage hosting karaoke bars, hole in the walls. Man, I ain't going in, man. Look like you're going to get shot up, you know. I'm going in. He said they got a stage, you're going in. But as far as relocating, two things. Jamie Foxx taught us this. And Jamie Foxx... when he was doing his comedy convention back in the early 2000, we would go out to California, and you know what Jamie Foxx said is everybody wants to be famous in Hollywood. He said, but when you come out to Hollywood, please understand that there's 50 guys been in Hollywood 15, 20 years that ain't made it yet. That is hilarious, you know. He says, so when you come out to Hollywood, don't think you're going to go to the front of the line.
Right.
because these guys are doing it for their families. This is all they got, you know. I got a job, I got benefits, you know. So it was like you step in the back, but these guys are doing it for their job. They're doing it for a living, and these guys will hurt you. Like you say, you work with people that work with you, but it gets so bad out there, man. It's a survival. You know, it's survival for these guys that have been in California for 15 years and just still doing open mics and karaoke's, you know. And then you come in, think you're going to get in the front of the line. You're not. Jamie Foxx say, be ready to get at the back of the line. You know, unless you know David Chappelle or these guys like that and they pull you on the stage, but you got to be able to blaze. Then you got to be fast because these guys here, in any stage you get on in the beginning, they're only going to give you 3 minutes.
Okay.
Give me 5 minutes. Give me 3 minutes. But you got 20 minutes worth of material in your head, you know. And you go out to California, these guys will do a whole sitcom in 90 seconds. He done fired off 80 jokes. Killing, boom, boom, segues, all that. And you're just like, yeah, man, how y'all doing? Yeah, I want to thank y'all for coming out. Ooh, the lights. You ain't got no time for that because these guys have been doing it so long. So first thing is, you know, don't go to another city expecting to be first. Respect those in the game. Also, Jay-Z, he has some good input. I heard him say this before about people wanting to come to New York. Everybody's like, you go to New York, you can make it anywhere. You know, just a lot of people didn't make it. Just like California. You go to California, there's a bunch of homeless entertainers, females, males, went out there to be actors. They're on the corners, they're homeless, they're on drugs, but they don't want to come back home because they went to California to make it. Right. Everybody ain't gonna make it. But I remember Jay-Z saying one time, he said, look, you don't have to move to New York to be the greatest. Jamie Foxx said the same thing. You don't have to come to LA to make it. He said, you be the best comedian where you at, we'll find you. And I always took that to heart, and that's what it was. You know, I had people in Atlanta, hey, man, we got to audition for Def Comedy Jam. We got to audition for this, you know, and all those cats that live around there, you know. You just be the best poet where you at. You be the best in your city. You be the best in your break room at work, but be the best where you at. They will find you. You're the best rapper. You're the best artist. You're the best, you know, swimmer. You're the best skater. The talent people will find you. You create your own buzz and you build that as big as you are, and then you launch. Okay.
That I take that to heart because I do a lot of personal stuff when I'm on stage. And I'm not the type of person to get a big head, but I do know that I'm funny.
That head is big. Oh, that's just a hat.
Yes,
I ain't never seen a hat with 2 straps.
Yeah, and I'm on the last 2 dots in the back. Where it's not bad in the back.
That last dot, like,
they're on the back of my head, like no, don't do it, don't. Yeah, so I'm gonna take that into heart because I've been to LA. On the strength of Hope Flood, who is another comic that's on the show that we're getting ready to talk about shortly.
Hope, my girl, she doing her thing.
And she had brought up the Comic Rocks convention. Mm-hmm. She's doing that, and that was the first time that I went out to LA. And when I went out to LA, I wasn't used to the smog or anything, so I was out there struggling to breathe when I went on stage. Wow. But then she had relocated and did it in Atlanta, and I had got a chance to meet the owner of the Atlanta Comedy Theater, and I had a conversation with him. It was brief because he was busy, but he was like,
always busy.
He was like, well, out of the ones that I saw, he was like, you had the better of the sets, and I was like, I appreciate that, but my set then was only 3 minutes because that's all they had, and I had to go up there, get it in, and get it done. So I understand that. It's just now I have the I want to be able to go and give them a call and be like, listen, you got anything open? You know what I mean? Or send my avails, but they say that's the from what you was explaining, that's kind of like the old way of doing it. Now it's like we got this social media thing now that people can find you on social.
Them dudes that ain't never been on the stage, but they can work their camera real good. Yeah. But the bottom line is they want to fill seats, you know. And if he's got 8 million followers looking at him eating an apple, you know, with the lights off in pajamas, they gonna call him. So that's what we're competing against now. Another thing we're competing against is a lot of the real stars that are not making movies anymore. They're coming back on the stage. So it's kind of hard to get in there. Best thing you can do is kind of find your mentor. You know, DL does that with my man A-Train. You know, it's hard to get somebody to kind of pull you under their wings. They got to be genuine love for the craft. You know, I've always, you know, me as a being one of the first ones out of Jacksonville, I'd always kind of look back and say, hey, put them on stage, And it's another thing you just mentioned is that, you work with who work with you.
Right.
So in this business, everybody think they're the funniest. Everybody think they're the best in any sport. I'm the best football player. I'm the best basketball player. I always tell them that stage, go on that stage. It'll tell you who the best is.
Yeah.
So the bottom line is continue to work with who work with you, because also it gets very messy. Everybody's got egos because we all think we God gift to the microphone. Okay, and you may very well maybe, but work with people. Work with people, because you never know who that person can influence. He might get a job and say, hey man, Walt Disney called me to do this children's program. Bruh, I'm booked on a cruise for 3 weeks and I can't do it. They just need somebody to come in and hold the audience down backstage and make them laugh. I call it a set comic. And then boom, and you make it from there. So never count anybody out. Man, never. They used to get so mad at me when I had like 4 comedy rooms here, in Jacksonville, back in the day. I had 4 comedy rooms and I would put anybody on stage. But the comedians that was closest to me was like, man, don't put him on stage. Man, he ain't funny. Man, hey, man, that ain't your call. So work with anybody, because all these guys will blow up. But,
you never know.
You never know.
Because the person you put on stage might be first time that he had the opportunity of getting on stage with you. And then he been working on his craft for 10 years.
Underground.
And then next thing you know, he done some things to become social media aware, where he just blowing up on social media. You never know what can happen. Next thing you know, he want to pay it forward, but he want to also bring people that put him on. He was like, well, listen, man, no, I got to go back to where I started from. And, because I think that's one of the things Kevin Hart did. He pulled up everybody.
Right. Red Grant, all them on there.
Right.
He put me off the show because he had his peoples.
Oh, my.
He came to the show. I worked with Cat Williams at the Times Union Center. It was a Veterans Memorial back then. And Cat was on fire, packed house. But the promoter knew me. And the promoter said, hey, man, you the man. You go out there and host it, man. Cat got off that airplane. Cat came up in that limousine. He had about 10 comedians. Hey, little man. Now, you going to get your money, but I bring some of my own people with me. I was like, my mama out there, Cat. My mama. He was like, we got you. And Cat's a good guy, man. He don't get a lot of credit for what he do, man. He helps so many comedians come up. Cat will give you money right out of his pocket. He'll like, hey, what you gonna make? 3,000? Bam, bam, bam. And he still love on you. You can still go to the after party with him. Jamie Foxx was good like that. Man, it's just some good guys, but it also gets real messy. I would tell any comic, whoever's working on their craft. I watched some last night. Just go with the flow. Don't talk about them. Don't be backbiting, or he think he funny, or he should do this. What you do is you try to help him. And that was always my thing. Okay, dude, when you on stage, you 6'5", the ceiling is right there. Why are you up on that stage? Come down on the floor, or, females. Oh, you look real good. Well, girl, you need to stop wearing this kind of outfit. You try to help the fellow comics out, because that'll get you, that'll help you a long way.
Now, what about your thoughts in reference to comedy from females and males? I've heard I've heard a couple individuals who felt like they didn't think women were funny. And I was like, well, that's kind of that's not right. You got some of the funniest comedians is in Samore and Monique. All of these female comedians that are out there. You got Chanita Moore, Chocolate.
Vanessa Fraction is a beast.
Vanessa, Hope Flood.
Melanie Camacho. Man, these girls are killing, and they've been killing for 40 years. Hope been out there for almost 40 years.
So what do you think? What do you think the problem is? I'm seeing that all of these comics are out there. I think we're in a bubble, and I think the bubble is probably getting ready to pop, because it was the same way when Comic View and Def Comedy Jam was there. Before, there was no outlet. A lot of the individuals that was found as doing TV and stuff that we consider comics, like your what is it, the Cedric the Entertainers, the the Steve Harveys, all of them were founded on one of those 2 platforms that was being offered for people to see. But right now, you really don't have that. The only thing that you have as far as comedy goes is like a variety show when it comes to Wild 'N Out. there isn't any kind of TV show where comics can go up there, do their set, be seen, and then be seen by the right people.
Right. Well, first of all, with females, it's always it's just females are always been left out. You know, females are funny. You got some, like I say, all the ones we just named, they're very funny, but it goes back to ego, you know, and it goes back to, you know, the male ego. You know, they don't want a woman coming up there. Cause my thing with women is, I need you to talk about more than your little sweetie pie, you know, more than your breast. There's so much other stuff going on in the world. When you spend 30 minutes talking about your sweetie pie and your breast and what I'm gonna do with my mouth, nobody want to hear that. Period. Okay. So, but there's some great females out there. Men are intimidated. You know, I see, like you said, the bubble, man. It's just men don't want to give them a chance, but they have to break the door down. You know, just like you trying to get in a white comedy club. You know, you got to break your door down. But you gotta bring something. Don't just expect because you're a female, they gonna let you ride. They not gonna let you ride because they don't want you here.
Matter of fact, it's probably gonna be harder for you.
It's harder. You got with females. You out there seeing the 27 female comics. I'm gonna tell you. If you notice the most about comic, I'm probably the best looking one y'all done seen in a while. Can they see? Can they see?
They see it's on you. The camera on you.
It's on me, baby.
Yeah,
Put all these cameras in here. But I'm not saying that in jesting. I'm just saying that for female comics, or most comics, you know, they got a irk about them. They either heavy set, they either got a weak eye, they got a crazy voice, they're real skinny. You know, it's something that kind of sets you apart to let people like, oh, that dude funny and he big and fat. Women is that downside is you can't be too pretty, you know, and you can't be too fine. You say you can't be, but you are. But what are you wearing on stage? What are you doing on stage? A lot of people don't take women serious as comedians because they want to come out there and wear, you know, the leopard skin, tight, this, that, and another. But what they don't understand why they're on stage, you got 800 husbands in the audience. You got 500 husbands in the audience. You got 50 husbands in the audience. He ain't thinking about no joke, tee hee ha ha. So now you set the tone of the room just by how you dress because you feel good. You might like what you got on, but when you walk out there and you got your bust out and you trying to, you know, look all extra, now that woman that's there with her husband, he can't even laugh like he won't because he really looking at your body. And I try to tell a lot of female comedians, you need to find that wardrobe that fits. Where it's like, because half of the men in there, they scared of their wives. Yeah, y'all out there, they're scared of your wives. You won't laugh. You won't be personable, especially for beautiful female comedians on stage. You like sitting there, you really want to laugh, but you looking at that thing. But, you know, it just brings so much extra that pressure on that comedian. But if they're not aware of it, if we don't tell them and we don't share it, you know, and then you got to get off stage. Now you know you got to go in the middle of, hey, let's take a picture. Let's take a picture, you know, and you leaning up there and now your girl looking sideways at you like, who's all them heifers in the picture, you know? So I've been there, done that, you know.
See, that makes sense. It makes sense to me now. If most of the time it's women that come to comedy shows. Right, and women bring the men to the comedy, right,
or female.
And if the women come into the comedy shows, they're bringing their man to the comedy show, right? So most of the time you have to dress down, not because of the man, because since women are coming to the comedy show, if they kind of will see you and be not intimidated, but women hate on women.
They catty.
Right. So thank you. Yeah, they catty.
Catty.
So they'll look at you and be like, you might have the best jokes in the world, but you're not really. They're not really hearing you because they don't really care because of how you came out. So if you come out dressed modestly and they know, okay, well, she not dressed better than me, so I'm gonna hear what she got to say. You know what I mean? And then of course, most women, if they think that they man is attracted to you to that point, they really don't want to hear nothing you got to say.
They tune you out, and that you know, it's energy. We feed off energy, and you can look at the body language, you can look at the facial expression, like, dude, why you just sitting there like that, man? He really want to laugh. You know, and then you can tell. Check when a lady get up to go to the restroom. Now he all in. As soon as she walk back out, He a different dude, you
Yeah.
know. So women are real catty like that. It's unfortunate, but just being careful with how you present yourself on stage because you can kill the energy in a room. Until you get somewhere like some more and those girls, ladies like that earn that, you ain't gonna get it out the gate.
Yeah, I wonder what their attire was when they first got started. I know I saw Tiffany Haddish on Def Comedy Jam. I think it was that, but she didn't have. She was dressed modestly. I mean, she had a shirt that covered everything up. She had a skirt on for her to do her joke when she was clapping her feet. You know what I mean? But it was nothing that was have been overbearing for another woman that was in the audience. You
Right,
know?
it does make a difference, and I don't care. Man, I ain't care about nobody. It makes a difference. Also with guys, I've always dressed up. They say dress the part you want to play. Okay, when I'm doing a show, I make sure I get with the church. Hey, is it semi-formal, formal? Do y'all have a color theme? That's the first thing I ask them. Um, semi-formal, formal. I always try to come on right at the end of lunch or dinner, not too much before people eat, because now you up there trying to entertain
While they
and
eating.
blah blah blah. But you find out it's mechanics. You find out the mechanics of the room. You find out you walking in, you got on a yellow dress or a lime green suit, and it was an all black affair.
Right.
But you think you standing out because I didn't know you didn't read the memo. That means a lot to the client. So I always say dress the part you want to play. They always want, well, man, I tell them, hey man, I made 500 on that. A lot of people don't talk like that. Man, she only gave me 150. I say, look how you dress, bruh. You got on jeans, you got on tennis shoes, a polo shirt. You can't expect that kind of money when you just walk in the room like that.
Makes sense.
And it's not necessarily that client; it's the people in the audience. Because once every show you've done, right? Somebody say, "Give me your business card."
Yeah.
Or that person, the pastor, or that club will call you back and say, "Hey, this young lady saw you. She really liked what you did. She wants you to come and do her wedding." So a lot of that stuff is stuff you got to forecast down the road to build your brand. Look
Right.
the part, I can ask for what I want, but when they see me, they be like, "Ooh, and he outdressed the pastor." Yup, show did, and it's comfortable and it looks good. It's look like he's worth that.
Right. All right. Well, I think I appreciate the knowledge, man. I listen to a lot of the veteran comics that have come up and respect those who have been doing it a while, and always keep an open mind. I say my motto is to stay moldable, adaptable, and pliable, and to be able to take criticism well from individuals who have been and who have done it before me. And try to weed through some of the negativity that might come based off of their own personal experiences while they are trying to mentor
Throw
me.
it on you.
Yeah,
They're gonna throw it on you, and I'll give you an example, not to cut you off. They will throw it on you, but a lot of big name comics, they're not gonna give you a shot because you're hungry. And when you're hungry, we do anything. We getting it. We working on our craft. They ain't got all you gotta do is say, you've been to shows and you get off stage and like, dang dude, I paid $40 to come see this headliner, man. Y'all two cats was funnier than him. You hear that all the time. He riding on a name. He's been doing it 40, 50 years. He can ride on a name. And then they get intimidated. They'll say, well, hey, I'm going to bring my own feature. I'm going to bring my own opening act. I know what they going to do. They ain't going to top me because they get paid not to. You do your little stuff. You may be funny, but you ain't going to outdo me because I brought you with me. But a lot of them, like, they ain't going to just come into a town and like, oh, who the host? Me, man. Oh, I ain't never heard of you, dog. You know what you doing out there? When the bell rang, you going to find out. Then you blaze them. Then the next day, it's like, well, just do 4 minutes.
Yeah, and that's crazy how I've heard that. There was a comedian that I looked up to. He's from Atlanta. He passed away, I believe, last year or year before last. RP to him. But he was saying of another comedian. I'm not going to mention his name, but he was on a show with him, and he blew the stage up. And he told him, he was like, "Listen, you're going to have to get your own show. You're not going to be on my show no more." And I was like, "Dang, it's like that."
They'll cut you.
Right. And I was like, bro, I don't think I would ever be in a situation where I don't want to be tested. Period. I'd be like, I want somebody like, if you go up on the stage and you blaze, bro, and you put the pressure on me, I like to feel that pressure.
Feel that
you know
pressure
what I mean?
coming out.
Yeah, and that's the only way that I feel I'm going to be able to get better.
You get better.
So,
But they don't have to get better because they already arrived. But
Right.
so they'll play it down. But you just gotta do your thing, man. If somebody's better than me, and be like, hey man, hey y'all check this guy out now. He next. He next. Keep your eye on him. Give him this little stuff, and then they appreciate you for that indirectly.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can bomb, fail, or whatever because you just sold them something else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, watch out for this next guy. Yeah, he was funny, and you know backstage, killing it. You know, like dang man, he killing it out there. You want that because you can bring the energy, but now you ain't. If you a big name comic, you ain't got to go out there and do nothing.
You gotta
'cause
work
you
too
rather
hard.
that. Yeah, you ain't got to work too hard. And they ain't working hard. But another thing I was going to allude to, you know, the Chris Tucker Comedy Club back in our day. We had Chris Tucker's Comedy Club in Atlanta, and our bottom line is, you know, we don't have those venues anymore, like you
Right.
said. It's hard to create them because of the internet and everything, but at the same time, you know, you just gotta go for it. You never know what everything goes into cycles. You know, all the old fashion, them old clothes you wearing now, they was good back in the 70s, so they look good on you now. But styles come back, just like roller skate just came back. It died down in the 90s. Now it's back full swing. So if you can stay up above the curve with your craft, your art, you know, try to see where it's going, and don't try to do nothing nobody else is doing. Just do you.
Right.
Just do you, and it'll work out for you. Just do you, man.
All right. And in closing, let's tomorrow, for all of y'all that don't know,
I forgot about tomorrow.
we
man.
have a play that's going to be. This is going to be uploaded. Well, it's going live now, but it's going to be uploaded right after we're done. So that means you're going to be able to listen to us on all of your social media platforms, as well as your favorite podcasting platforms, which consist of iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Pandora.
Boy, I'm everywhere.
You're going to be everywhere. Talking this, giving that positive advice for comics that are out there because they aren't getting it. You know what I mean? So my goal is to at least, you know, get with individuals who are in the same realm that I'm working in, but who have done it before me, and be able to give me some insight as to how I can get better and be able to put a name for myself, because I got a group of people that I work with that I would love to be able to put on. You know what I mean?
Well, let me tell you about you. Okay, how long you been in the game? 7.
Around 6, 7. Yeah.
So 6, 7. So I've been knowing you about 2 or 3. So man, dude, I ain't saying this because I'm on Signal 27, but you're way ahead of the curve. You found your personality on stage real quick. What you've done in 7 years, that's about a 10, 15 year job.
Oh wow.
Easy to find your personality. Everybody's got a personality. Eddie Murphy was raw. He came out in the leather. Chris Rock was mad, angry. Dave Chappelle to stand there and be cool. It takes you years to find that, and you found it in 7 years. When I see you, man, I'm just like, woo. You know, your energy is high. You are a good comedian for New York. Okay, Andrew Dice Clay. You know, what's the guy that died? The white guy with all the crazy hair.
Mitch Hedberg?
But Andrew Dice Clay, guys on that line, the Mexican dude, you got an edge on comedy. So when I say you got an edge, you got a stage presence that automatically commands control. When you walk out there so peaceful. But boy, when you open your mouth, I'm like, he mad for real. We don't know if you mad or you angry, but you sell it so well. So you already found that. But if you don't know, you found out. I told you at the spot we was doing. I say, The Last Leroy. That is hilarious. That name, you got that already, you know. Like Terry T. Harris. It took me 8 years. Some dude like, yo, that's my boy, Terry T. Harris. I was like, what he said, you know? And he still razzed me to this day. He's like, man, he gave you that name. That ain't even my name. My name's Terrence.
Oh, wow, for
that
real?
Don't sound good on stage.
No, I will.
My middle name's Sherrod. That don't sound good. It don't go with nothing. But he just hollered it out at the end of one of my shows. Y'all get my boy, Terry T. Harris. Just like that. And I started using it everywhere, and it rocks, man. But you found your place already. You're confident on stage. That's the number one thing. You got to be confident. But once you find out who you are, if you're going to be angry, go with that. It's working for you, you know. And people like it. Because here's another thing. This is what's gonna take you there. Everybody's on edge. Everybody's tiptoeing around what to say and not to say. They pretty much shut Dave down, right? This climate of being politically correct.
Right.
It's like you can't talk about this group. You can't say nothing about that group. But you right on that line where you can say it and sell it at the same time. But you gotta figure out the pieces to make it work if you go across that line. Because like Andrew Dice, watch a couple of his videos. Andrew Dice Clay, he could go across that line. But now the stuff he said 10 years ago, he couldn't say. And I used to walk out on stage and like, I was Eddie Murphy raw, cuss them out, all the women on the front row, bees and this like that. And they would be blown away. Like, man, you talk about them women right there in their face and they love it. You just call that lady this and you love it, but it's a knack for it. But then once I started cleaning up, because the churches started calling and I want to get some of my tithe money back. So, that's like, but yeah, you're already there, bro. Just keep doing what you're doing, hone in on it, and then it's a character. See, that's what we're looking at up there, a character personified. You're already bigger than who you are, but now you just need to tweak, you know, the material and the mechanics of it, you know, and that's it. That's pretty much it. I'll give you another one. As far as what's the boy, the country white boy, biggest one.
A country. You talking about the one that the cable guy?
Larry, the cable guy. Mm-hmm. He don't do cable. He was on cable,
right?
But the personified Larry. I'm Larry, the cable guy. He had on the overalls. He was country. Mm-hmm. He grabbed a group and he ran with it. You know. So right now you're there. You that. What I'm saying is you're that angry man that's out there. That angry black man that's not allowed to say what he want to say. You see what they did to Kyrie. You see what they did to Kanye West. So we're not allowed to say that. But as an art form, you are that person that can deliver that. Yes. If you get some more deep stuff, like quote unquote, on those subjects,
okay,
that'll take you on a whole nother realm. And don't worry about. I ain't saying you know how to do it. And we'll keep it going. But you're already there. You just got to get your mechanics on stage. You stand there and you shake and you. I'm mad. Okay, what are you really mad about? Are you really mad about everybody coming over the border? Are you really mad about your lights got cut off? Are you really mad? And all that you're really mad about, just convey it and say it. And then get some mechanics with you, and then I'll start playing with the clothes. You wearing that because you're comfortable.
Yeah, the fact that I came from work.
No, I'm saying I've seen you on stage.
Oh,
Smiley face shirt, got a little smiley face back here. There's something about smiley faces you like, but you're a smiley face. You got a happy face. See, the thing about you is you look rough, but you're not. See, you're not. And then some people, they look nice and easy, and you can walk up on them, but they nasty.
Right.
You're open. You're
you're talking about people. after my persona on stage is a little different.
It's different. Right. So, but the more you get into it, it's harder for us as an audience. Like, oh man, I don't want to go over there and take no picture with that dude. That dude, wow, man, he just cussed out the club on him, But bottom line, and that's the trick for you.
Okay.
You already there, man. You already there, and just keep doing that. The last Leroy. Why you the last Leroy? Because all the rest of them gone. Not
Facts.
Gone. It's a reason.
Yeah.
I wish it was Mo, but I'm the last Leroy. Why you wish it was Mo? Tell me more of that story. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's a backstory to the last Leroy.
Okay, I like that. I do have a joke when I talk about it because my dad's name is Leroy. But then when I started looking up, I mentioned that there are no other. Everybody has multiple syllables and consonants in their names now. It's just me, just two, just Leroy. That's
like
it.
That, and the last Leroy is like your name should be Leroy in 2022.
It should, yeah, you're absolutely right. They don't make no more Leroys. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. Like Leroy.
Yeah.
Who named that?
Right.
Okay. It's cool. But yeah, keep doing your thing, brother. You're there. If you're gonna pursue it, and find the passion in it, and just do it, man. Just do it for the love of it, Like I say, I used to do so many shows for free, because you're going to get that experience on stage. Nobody wants to work for free now. You call them, they won't. Hey, man, come on around the corner. do 20 minutes. Man, I ain't going around that. Man, you gonna give me $100 to do 20 minutes? A lawyer don't make $100 an hour.
Facts.
So I always equate it to lawyer money. I'm going around here and get this 30 minutes. I ain't got to get no hotel room. I'm going, and it's 50 people I never seen before in my life. And that's it, man. But build your brand, stay on stage, and get more matter.
Get more matter.
Get more matter. Yep.
I'm gonna have to remember that. More matter. I'm gonna put that on the shirt, maybe. Getting more matter.
Get more matter. I got one there where I see all the skaters sitting around. They always ask you on adult night. That's right, adult night. Every Sunday we do adult night, and they play my song, and then they sit down. As soon as you play that song, and I get on the mic. Find the energy. You came up here 3 times talking about play your song. When I finally play it, they sit down. So find the energy. Get more matter. You know, you gotta. Ooh, man, you can launch because right now the whole world's mad. We're all upset. Everybody's confused, and they want to say what we say on stage, but they ain't got no outlet. They ain't got no voice, and that separates you from all the comedians that I've seen coming up in this town. You know, everybody's just talking. You're angry and you're mad about something, and that's how Chris Rock was. You know, he was mad, and he was furious, and he conveyed that on stage. You know, Andrew Dice Clay, you're in that same vein.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you for giving me something that I have to some homework. You know what I mean? I appreciate the homework.
No, you do. I'll take you on the show if I ever get some shows that trust you. No. No, but I will, you know. It's just, you know, you set, dude. And I'm not just saying it because I've seen so much of this. And everybody trying to find a way. They think it's a special gimmick. You got to be real on stage. You got to be who you are. You got to be confident. And that was Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac would suffer with that, you know. I ain't scared of you.
Yeah.
Actually, he did that because I ain't scared of you mothers. And you go out there, you got 10,000 people, and he let them know. And they were like, because Bernie came across kind of angry. Bernie is another one. He came across, but he could tell stories, but at the same time, there you go, right there. Your backstory.
I'm a big Bernie Mac fan, and it's just Bernie Mac, Patrice O'Neal, Corey Holcomb, all of those.
Corey Holcomb is a beast, man, and he just do it so easy. Yeah. He don't look angry. He just be talking and he be dropping it on. My girlfriend, baby mama live across the street, and boom, you're like, what? Across the street?
Right, it's crazy. You know? So that's kind of where my idea was for the Signal 27 show. I was like, yo, if I can see you do it, I feel like I'll be able to do it.
Yeah.
And that's just how the Signal 27 show came about. But as far as the people that's in the comedy game, man, those are the individuals that I kind of looked up to. And then I started to look in my local area, you know what I mean, for the comics that are here in the city, like Antoine Murphy and yourself.
Antoine's a beast, man.
Tez Brooks, you know what I'm saying, David Emanuel, Big Chip, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all these guys doing it, man. They doing it. And it's your time. You just got to stay out there and beat the grind, you know. They say it takes an average of 15 to 20 years for you to come from underground. You know, everybody like, who's 50 Cent? Who 50 Cent? Wait, man, 50 Cent been grinding. Who Kevin Hart? Kevin Hart's been grinding, man, 15 years, 20 years underground. And then now he pops up, you know. No, who's this new cat? And that's what everybody worry about. He ain't new. He's been out there. You ain't new. Dave and them ain't new. I ain't new. But you just got to keep grinding. But all those guys you named, like Robin Harris, is another one like that. You know, because that's another thing. I say, your look, you already won. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing to you. You ain't gonna get too many hecklers. When you get mad, they just gonna sit back and listen. You know what I'm saying? Because that's Robin Harris. Him. Body language mechanics. If you saw some of his stuff. Bernie Mac definitely. But Bernie Mac was smooth, cool, slide. Then he'll pop on you. You know. Yeah. You know, you got that same knack there. And, you know. And that's just who you are. That's your natural makeup. And that's why you have to feed on that. Everybody want to feed off of, well, I'm going to sound like him. I'm going to act like him. You can do voiceovers. You can do, you know, entertain some of that. You got some voices in there, some characters. Entertain that, you know. Well, you can do not third party, but we'll chop it up. But where you second person, third person?
Oh, you talk as if you were that third person.
Third person, that's you, man. But you gotta find the knack to make it work.
Right.
You know, but you selling this, you talking about this in third person. Bernie could do that real good.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? You that dude, but you got to find that, and it takes time. It takes time working it, working at angles. You know, but I would say digging your backstory a little bit more. Go, you know, that's what all comedians. It starts there, and then you build on that. You know, what happened to mama? What happened to grandmama? Why you mad? Because they sold the house. You know, grandmama said we're supposed to keep this in the family, but she messed around. You know, you got to go there, man. Go there. You can't be afraid to go there.
No, I appreciate it, man.
No
All
problem.
all of these nuggets you dropping. I'm glad it's being recorded because I'm gonna go back and listen to this as if I wasn't even sitting
He wasn't
here.
sitting at Signal
Yo.
27. This is
So,
what we do, man. I don't mind doing it, man. I'm a giver by nature, so I love giving back. I love just sharing because you know that's what it's all about. You know, if you can't help nobody, I tell everybody I don't have no angles. I don't have nothing. Anything you want to know about business, you know, I'm a dynamic consultant. I can help you with anything. You know, I'm a numbers guy. I don't have no problem telling, hey, dog, you want to do this? That's what it is, that, blah, blah, blah. And I want nothing.
No, but I think
I do good.
my goal, my goal so far, after having everything is said and done, was to create a comedy club here in the city, and I wanted to be a premier comedy club to compete with the Comedy Zone. But there's nothing like that. We had 2111 for a little bit, then we had the Comedy Club of Jacks for a little bit before the situation with the building happened.
Right,
With
the roof caved in.
Right.
Because you were so funny, man. You caved the roof in.
Right.
You shook the foundation.
But it's like I think now with comedy opening up in Duval because it was kind of closed up because of the situation that was at the Comedy Zone.
Right.
And
Black
a lot of the
ball and
comics,
all that old craziness.
right?
Man.
So
I went through it.
and now that it's opened up, I feel like if another comedy club was here, they can kind of work with one another to kind of help develop the comic series. The only reason why I feel like comedy is not as big as it can be in the city of Duval is because of the culture was kind of stifled because of what was going on here. And if comics can't put on comedy in the city, then how's the city supposed to go if they only got to come to your place to watch the comedy?
And that was one of my downsides. And that's like I said, that's why I did what I did. You know, sometimes you just got to pull away.
Right.
You know, but you know, I'll ask you if you've been there 6 or 7 years and you say I'm still hosting for $20 a night. You know, just to be on stage with the big guys, that's good. But in the long term, you know, you can revert that energy. But it's a business too. It's like anything else. You got to understand it's a business, and these are franchises, and they don't want you coming in. I learned that from the Comedy Zone because I had a club on the beach, and I would come to Comedy Zone and work, and the owner would always, you know, say, Terry, you can't do that. You know, you can't work on the beach and work in my club because it's a business first, you know. And I didn't understand it because I was a young comic. I was like, man, I just want to get on stage. You only call me once a month at amateur night, you know, dude. I done been on TV 4 or 5 times.
Right.
You know, you want to do this, you know. He was like, you know what, you know. He said the bottom line is if they see you at the beach on Friday, what make you think they're gonna come to my place on Saturday? And I was like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. You know, so we gotta take that. You know, it's not that they blackballing, but you just gotta work, and it's you gotta earn it.
Right.
If I don't say nothing else, you gotta earn it. It just don't happen, and I'm just gonna wake up and say, hey, here's your club. I really parlayed into that when before I opened the roller skating rink. I really wanted to lean into that, a real comedy club. I mean, with the best acts coming and everything, but I didn't feed into it enough. Because, you know.
You think the passion wasn't as there as it is for the skating ring? I think a lot of times now, if you are having fun with what you're doing, I've been to the skating ring where you were, where you are, and when I see you, it's like, yo, you're just so happy. Even when you're behind it. Even when you when you're behind it, yeah, even when you're behind like the DJ booth and you're playing the music, man, you just seem like you're really happy seeing the people. Yeah, man.
Man, I love it, man. It's crazy, you know, and I'll be the first one to tell you because I get people walk in there and they see what's done and they just can't believe it's black owned, and that blows my mind. I was like, why can't we do this? Why can't we have the premier comedy club owned by the last Leroy, you know? But what I love entertaining. That's the comedy background. I love cooking, so I'm in the kitchen. We had a field trip today, 150 kids. I'm in there, man, cutting piece of all of it. And then I'm on the floor rolling around with the kids. But when I see two things that get me, when I see their families creating memories and the little kids crying on the way out, and I'm like, what's wrong? And they're like, he don't want to leave, you know. I say, well, did he fall down? She's like, no, I've been here 6 hours. I gotta go. I got stuff to do. So that kind of stuff. And another one is just the kids playing together, black, white, Chinese. These kids play together, man. If they're under 11 years old, 12 years old, they don't see no color. And that just blows my mind.
Yeah, kind of let you know it's learned.
It's learned. You got to teach hate and racism. So when I see all these kids playing together, they're white, they're black, they're holding hands, they're skating, and they never met each other. And that just rings a bell like, man, it's bigger than this, you know? And we need to stop the foolishness and just let it be, because they already mating and all the babies are beige now. So it ain't going to be but one race, khaki.
Yep.
And by 2030, it's going to be all one race, khaki.
Yeah, khaki race. It's the khaki race.
Like the basketball teams. Who's all these light-skinned boys playing around here, man? We ain't got no light-skinned boys. Draymond Green, the only dark one. But no, man, I love what I'm doing. And I watch this show on TV. It's called Bar Rescue. If you want to learn anything about business, John Tapper and Bar Rescue, man, he teaches you a lot. But what he always tell the business owner or the club owner or the restaurant owner, he say, you signed up for this. You put your money into this. Mm-hmm. Now you want to act the fool. You don't want to do it. You don't want to buy lights. You don't want to buy paper towels for your customers. You signed up for that. Signal 27, you signed up for that. You bought all this. So you have to keep that in mind and just be real careful about people that are not doing stuff, or people that see what you're doing. You know, I don't want to call it haters because we always like to top on that. But just don't let them play you down, man. You doing it. You got 7 laptops up here. You got 8 cameras. You got $900 microphones. You got some gaming chairs for Nintendo. You know, you got banners and all that. But dude, you took the time and the energy to convert your living room into a studio. Dude, you doing it. So I often get this, hey, man, you still doing the little comedy thing? I say, look, it's little you.
You know, I had a young lady.
You still doing the little skate? You still got? Hey, you the one got the little skate ring. I say it's little you. Yeah. Watch their face. Go right back. You can't let that get in your spirit. Right. Because you'll feel like it's smaller than it is. You know, and they're gonna say it for the rest of your life. And I say you still got your little job.
Yeah, I stopped saying that because I had a contract with a young lady who I was editing. Yeah, and it came out. It just came out. It just came out, and I didn't mean to say it. You know what I'm saying? But when it came out, I was like, yes. When I put this on, I'm gonna take your little books and put them on this part of the thing, and then she went livid. Really? Yeah, I'm talking about she went. No, I'm talking about she was talking, but that's just so disrespectful, and that is it. I was like, well, if I said it, I apologize. I don't recall me saying it.
Yeah, right. We just as people used to saying it. I try not to say it.
Right. And but ever since then, I make it my duty not to do anything when anybody's doing something. No, man, I'm like, man, you doing it big. You're doing it big. Doing it. You know what I mean? And I'll say her name. Her name was Cynthia Hammer, and I'll never forget it when she told me.
Thank you, Cynthia.
You know what I'm saying? But it's a lesson learned. She probably would never work with me again. Right. But it's still a lesson that I needed to know, because what if I run into somebody and I say it to the wrong person that have $1 million contract for me? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
You still got your little thing, Tyler Perry. You still doing your little thing.
Exactly, right? This guy he can change my life, and I say something like that, and that's insulting. Yeah. So,
and it's very insulting, and you know, people do it. Like you say, it's unintentional in most time, but you don't know the motive, and we so used to doing it to each other. But when the minute they say that, you got to come back, man, because that thing will get in your spirit. Mm-hmm. And you come in here, your computer crash, you're like, oh man, this ain't nothing. Your conscience, you know about that. You've been hanging around with David Emmanuel. Let that get in your spirit, right? but it gets in our psychic, it gets in our spirit, and you're like, man, I'm doing all this work for nothing. I ain't got but 5 people logged on. I ain't seen nobody pop up and talk to Terry Harris. But anyway, but you're doing your thing. You're doing what you want to do. You're doing it how you want to do it, and you're doing it. You never know. You never know when you're going to get that phone call, bro.
That's right.
You never know. Yeah. Amen. You never know. So that's the thing I always tell people. Don't play your dreams, your visions down light. Walk in it. You signed up for it, and you're doing it. It ain't like no. And then most of the people that say that, they ain't doing nothing.
Absolutely.
They ain't doing nothing. So I got 2 visitors. Yeah, 2 sites. They saw me. Y'all saw me? All right, I'm right here. I'm trying to go get some garlic crabs.
All right. So in closing, I want to let everybody know tomorrow
we got the big play.
The big play / comedy show is going to be tomorrow. It's going to be myself, Terry T. Harris, Hope Flood, Bobby is Buddy Love, who's going to be doing the comedy portion of the show. But we have some outstanding actors that are going to be there at the Ritz. It's going to be at
Trina doing her thing.
That's right, and then our pop and mom that's going to be there. We're not going to tell too much of the story, but I just want to let y'all know. Get your tickets now, okay? This video is going to be uploaded once we get done again. Like I said, it's going to be on all of your social media platforms as well as your podcasting platforms within the next 30 minutes. I know a lot of my viewers, a lot of my listeners who watch it are not even within the city, but you got people that's here in Jacksonville. Let them know, listen, they got a play that's going on. You should go down there and look at it because they were just talking about it.
One funny Christmas. All right. Now,
also, you can also go to the Signal 27 page if you want to support the show. You can always buy merch. When I tell you buy the merch, put it on, take a picture and email it to the signal27radio@gmail.com so we can go ahead and post you on our webpage. And in closing, Terry, is there anything that you want to go ahead and spotlight?
Spotlight, man. Just keep doing what you're doing, bro. Keep hope alive. Have a blessed holiday season, man. And just say love on people, man.
All right.
Love on them. That's it. Yep. We need love. And get mad. Get more madder.
Get more madder. All right, y'all. I want to thank you all for tuning in to Jacksonville's #1 live comedy podcast. But this week we are in the community. I appreciate each and every last one of y'all, and you all have yourselves a good night.
All right.
So long,